it's Madison. Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I've decided to do kind of more relaxed video, more just like a sit down, chat, eat with me kind of video. I got my lunch here. And my niece Calcifer is here, my dog niece. And I thought I would just sit down and talk to you guys about a problem that a disordered Madison has to talk. A disordered habit that I have a hard time with. And I wanted to talk about like what I've used to help me stop doing it as much. So, that habit is body checking. So, body checking. What is it exactly? Body checking is not just looking in the mirror and seeing yourself. Body checking is when you look in the mirror, lift up your shirt, look at your thighs, kind of pinch and prod at your body, and kind of like grab the skin to see if it's fat. Any kind of thing where you're like touching and pulling on your body to see if you have any fat or whatever, you know? And that's a disordered habit. Because who just walks around and looks in the mirror and like goes like this, like squeezes their body like... If someone saw you doing that in public, they'd probably like, although people do it in public. Anyway, it's not my point. That is what body checking is. And for me, before my disorder, I don't really remember doing it because I probably didn't. I probably just didn't do it. But as I've gotten in recovery and I'm starting to recover more, that is like the last thing that my disorder, one of the last things that my disorder is holding on to with all its might. And I have had a hard time getting rid of it because it's just so, it's such an ingrained pattern in my body that I just didn't know how or where, if I could even stop it. Because the first thing that was hard for me when talking about body checking was I don't even think I can stop. Meaning, I'm so used to doing it and it's so ingrained in such a pattern in my head that I can't imagine my life not doing it. I can't imagine not doing it before and after each meal. I can't imagine not doing it. Once I got wrapped around and started like not doing it as much, which I'll talk about in a second, that went away and it no longer became I can't imagine my life without it. It became this is really hard to stop. And I realized how much of my life was consumed by this because I was doing it so often. And I didn't realize that until I tried to stop. And there's a process I went through to try to slowly get rid of it. And so I thought I would share that with you. The first thing I did was when I came to my nutritionist about it, my therapist, they told me to make a list of go throughout your day and every time you body check, put a tally on the list. And by the end of the day, or tally, numbers, whatever you want to do. By the end of the day, count up your tallies, and then you know how many times you're body checking on the regular a day. I'm not going to say how many I was doing because it's very bad, and it's so embarrassing, and I'm so glad I'm not there anymore. But, so I did that. That was the first thing I did. And then after I made the list and was looking at it and was like, holy crap, look at all the times I body checked. Then I moved to the second step where I started slowly decreasing. So I looked at my list and I looked at where, because she had me break it into like morning, afternoon, evening. And I looked at where it was more heavy and I tackled that first. Instead of tackling it all at once, I tackled that first. So for me, it was more heavy at night. And so I looked at it and was like, okay, this is way too many times, obviously. And so I'm going to take it down to 3. That's still a lot. And then when I got used to it at 3, I took it down to 2. And then I got used to it at 2, took it down to 1. And you just keep going down. And you do that with each section of time that you do it. So right now, where I am right now, I have gotten it down to 4 or 5 times a day. Which is still a lot, and I know that's still a lot, and I'm still working on it. So I'm sitting here and telling you I'm still working on this, and I know I still body check too much. But what I'm saying is that's the process I followed, and it's worked so far, and I'm still working at it. But I'm really proud of myself because I was like checking, and can't even tell you how many times I was checking off the top of my head. It was so many. And I So to get it down to 5 on one hand is crazy, and I'm so proud of myself. Eventually, I want to get it down to 0. I'm not even body checking at all, and that would be amazing. And that's my goal for the end of this year, is by 2020, all my disordered habits to be gone. I want to be weight restored, all that jazz. We already know that. The pattern I basically followed was to start with a list and separate it into sections and just tally how many times you body check a day in each section, morning, afternoon, night. And then be honest. And it's really hard and it's really easy. It's really easy to do when you do this list, to let your disorder take over and lie and say, well, I only did this, doesn't really count because it was half a body check or whatever. Any kind of checking of your body is a body check. And you have to be honest, because that's how you know and that's how you'll stop. You need to make the list and actually be honest about it, because that's like the first step of making a difference, is being honest. And because if you sit and make this list and you kind of just let the disorder take over and lie, you're never going to get over this habit, because you're going to think you're doing it less. The disorder is going to make you think you're doing less. Everybody else around you is going to think you're doing it less, and you're not. And so the list really helped me, and it really gave me a reality check. And so you make that list, and then you slowly plug away at each thing. And if you're brave enough, and if you're good, and you don't do it that often, and you just are like, I'm just not going to do it at all tomorrow. And if you do it and you just keep doing it and you're fine, you don't body check after that, that's great. If you can just pull cold turkey like that. But I couldn't just do that. I was struggling way too much. I was doing it way too many times to even think about just pulling cold turkey. I mean, my nutritionist wanted me to pull cold turkey, but I was terrified to pull cold turkey because I just couldn't imagine myself without doing it. I couldn't think. It's like my disorder connected the two in my brain, that if I didn't body check, I was going to gain a bunch of weight from the meal. If I didn't body check, I was going to get fat. But that's not the case. Body checking has nothing to do with what you look, how much weight you gain. Body checking does not affect that at all. It literally just makes you feel bad about yourself. Like, it makes you feel so bad about yourself. Even if you look in the mirror and the disorder likes what it sees, it's still going to make you feel bad about yourself, because it's going to be like, oh, perfect, like we used to eat now. Don't eat a lot, because if you eat a lot, that's going to change, and I don't want it to change. And that's when it's a problem. And I'm sitting here and telling you, I still struggle with body checking. I still struggle a lot. But that's not to say you can't fix it, because I know you can. And if you follow this, like, structure, it'll help a lot. It helped me so much. It's helped me with other things too, not just body checking. It's helped me with the baths. I used to have so many other obsessions with my disorder that I used to do, like my baths. It helped me with that. It helped me with my like exercises I would do. It helped me with restricting. It seriously is so helpful, making a list of every time you get the urge or you just body check. You should write down both, because it honestly helps. Just remember that you're not alone, and that if you feel like you aren't making any progress on this at all, don't feel bad. Don't make yourself feel bad, because other people out there are struggling too, or they've been there and they feel you, and you will get through this, because there are living, breathing, speaking people and thriving people that are fully recovered, and they live amazing lives, and so you'll get there too, and I firmly believe that. So don't let people out there tell you you'll never fully recover. You will. I firmly believe that you will fully recover, each and every one of you, and myself. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys liked this kind of video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If there's more eating disorder habits, topics, whatever you want me to talk about, leave a comment down below, message me on Instagram, whatever, if you have a specific topic you want me to talk about, because I'm open to it. I like doing these sit-down chatty videos. They're kind of fun. They're a nice break from, like, filming everything. But, yeah. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss an upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whoop! Also, if you don't follow me on Instagram, at Madison Parmenter, link will be down below. You really should. You should also follow all my socials down below, because I get down and groovy on my socials. Anyway, guys, I love you so much. Check out last week's video down below, and I will see you guys very soon. Stay awesome, my queens. Bye.